Howdy. Welcome to Cryptid Caravan. We're hauling in new monsters all the time. Today we journey deep into the woods as we discover a beast that hails from New Jersey. Well, there's the easy joke out of the way. No, I'm referring to the New Jersey Devil.
In central New Jersey, only about 25 to 30 miles east of Philly, there's a woodland reserve known as the Pine Barrens. This relatively untouched wilderness serves as the stomping grounds for the Jersey Devil. Its birthplace, Leeds Point.
The legend dates all the way back to the 18th century, when America was still under British rule. Now, the origin story comes in several different flavors, but they all share similarities.
One says a young lady fell in love with a British soldier. This caused the community to curse her and her child to be born a devil. Or there's a Mrs. Shroud, who asked her child to be born a devil. It came out deformed and began to transform into a devil days later.
But the most well-known account involves a mother Leeds who was having her 13th child, who she cursed as a devil.
The resulting baby had the overall body structure of a kangaroo, topped with the head of a horse, and included bat wings, goat hooves, and a snake tail. It flew up the chimney and disappeared into the night. In some accounts, it killed all the Leeds family before disappearing up the chimney.
But the origin of this Leeds devil might not be so fantastical. See, while there's not a lot of historical research detailing the life of a mother Leeds, there was a Daniel Leeds who lived at Leeds Point, New Jersey.
A Christian occultist who printed an almanac. In 1732, Leeds' son Titan found himself feuding with the author of Poor Richard's Almanac, Benjamin Franklin.
You may have heard of him.
This feud, along with a feud Daniel had with the Quakers, led to the perfect storm for a scathing rumor that the Leeds family were connected to a horrible demon.
But whichever story is true, the Leeds devil had entered the collective folklore. It was seen again in the 1820s by a famous individual.
Joseph Bonaparte, brother to the French emperor, was hunting on his New Jersey estate when he found suspicious tracks in the snow. Following them, he was alerted by an unusual hissing noise. A quick turn put him staring down the Leeds devil.
They stood face to face, eyes looking longingly into one another's, and then they kissed. Nah, I'm just kidding with you. It flew off, not to be seen again until the turn of the century.
January of 1909 saw the largest rash of Jersey Devil sightings, the original name, Leeds Devil, having fallen out of favor at the time. The first sightings came when Burlington residents found their snow-covered yards littered with strange hoof prints.
Those always seemed to give him away. He ought to invest in some boots.
The prints went up all the trees, across roofs, and seemed to disappear in the middle of open fields. And trash cans had been broken into. It spent the next week flying over South Jersey, making sure plenty of people saw it. Collinsworth, Moorestown, Burlington, Clementon, and Camden all reported visual sightings.
But for all the witnesses that saw this thing, no one seemed to grab a picture.
In Clementon, the devil circled a streetcar for several minutes, prompting trolley drivers in fellow towns to arm themselves. The Collinsworth Fire Department sprayed their hoses at the flying devil, and a Mrs. Sorbinski of Camden opened her door to find the devil manhandling her dog in its front paws. She smacked the devil with a broom, causing it to release the dog and fly off.
Basically, you deal with the Jersey Devil as if it was a giant house cat.
On the following Friday, Camden officer Louis Strayer spotted the devil drinking out of a horse trough.
This week of hysteria led to schools and factories being closed because people were afraid to go outside, even during the day. Luckily for them, though, by the time February had rolled around, the Jersey Devil had seemed to have disappeared.
From then on, there were spotty sightings of the devil every few years. In the 1950s, some Department of Conservation workers found an odd skeleton in a burnt-out section of pine woods. People hoped that was the end of the Jersey Devil.
But like a bad penny, it always turned back up.
There were several sightings in the 60s. A farmer woke up to find several of his dogs, cats, ducks, and geese killed terribly. The German Shepherd guard dog had its throat ripped out. Another tale accounts a young couple who drove out to the Pine Barrens. After parking in the forest, they heard a loud screeching.
Yeah, something like that.
The roof of their car collapsed as if something landed on it. They fled the scene but returned later to investigate.
That curiosity, it's a cat killer.
Again they heard a screech and saw a winged beast flying through the trees, ripping off huge swaths of the bark.
Now this account struck me as rather unique. Usually the Jersey Devil is portrayed as being agile, not crashing into cars and bouncing off of trees. Almost sounds more like an injured animal.
So what are the people of New Jersey seeing in the skies overhead? Could it really be a colonial-era devil?
With the long history of the Jersey Devil is racked up, there's plenty of theories.
A natural explanation is people are actually seeing a bird. Suggestions are a great horned owl or a sandhill crane, which are native to South Jersey. The crane shares the described lanky long body with an imposing wingspan, and its head has a red coloration around the eyes. The call it makes is described as a screeching whoop. The crane is a herbivore, which wouldn't explain all of the slaughtered livestock.
But I find it hard to mix up a bird's head with a horse's head.
There's also a chance some of the sightings were of an actual escaped kangaroo.
But last I checked, kangaroos don't fly. So let's move on to some of the more interesting theories.
A professor suggests that the devil is a prehistoric pterodactyl that survived the millennia underground. Or, wandering even farther down the rabbit hole, the devil could actually be a malevolent demon who brings war, as there were sightings of it right before many armed conflicts. Could all be one elaborate hoax playing off of people's fear.
Whatever the Jersey Devil is, it's a folktale that stood the test of time, being one of America's oldest monsters.
It inspired the name for New Jersey's hockey team, and is featured in popular media such as Monster Quest, Supernatural, and The Wolf Among Us.
The Jersey Devil is often mentioned in the same breath as famous cryptids like Bigfoot, Mothman, and El Chupacabra. Don't worry, we'll get to them soon enough.